except Sunday. I don't ever see the trucks on Sunday, but they're constantly all over this county delivering good quantity concrete, the hardest concrete known to man, and delivering septic tanks and picking up sand and gravel, and they just a busy bee around here.
Well, the internet's going off and coming on. I don't reckon anything's working tonight. I can't help it, folks. I'm just technically challenged. But Dixie Concrete have got the answers to anything related to concrete or septic systems. They even got sand and gravels and big old boat anchor
Right.
chunks.
Yeah, well, we had an idea last night, you got all this polished granite, polishing up where it looks like marble, making these tombstones and plaques and everything out of it. And we decided we can pour that stuff out of Dixie Concrete and put a finish on it just like it's on the floor down there at Food City grocery store. And we can go ahead and just form your name in. If any of you want to go ahead and have your tombstone made with your name put in
We'll
it.
even put the date on there if you know what to put.
We'll put when you're born. If you want us to put the date you're going to die, if you know, we'll be glad to put that on there too.
Yeah, we'll undersell anybody on tombstones, won't we?
Right.
We don't fool them out little in town. We got them big monumental
Right,
monuments.
yeah. Had to take, probably had to take my little old Bobcat and made it tilt over when I pick it up.
Dixie Concrete, in case you need to make any tombstones, or pour you a floor, or a
Right.
driveway, or a reinforcing wall. I mean, they've got anything related to concrete, they got it mastered.
And they always deliver what they promise at a price that you can put your trust in, and the quality you can put your trust in. That's Dixie Concrete.
Hardest concrete known to man.
Exactly. And then if you happen to need any parts for whatever you got that's mechanical,
I wonder if they got any computer parts. We need some of them tonight.
you can go down to Napa.
Napa Auto Parts, NAPA.
That's 562-9406.
Yeah, they're down there across from the IGA, ain't they?
Right on the corner of there of Old Jacksboro Pike and Jacksboro Pike, or what they call it, Central Avenue there. I don't.
No, Central Avenue. That was Central Avenue for about 6 months, and then they moved it back over on the other side of the tracks where it's supposed to be.
Okay,
That's Old Jacksboro and Jacksboro Pike.
Right, okay, good. And it's something I have said before, they used to have it zoned where nobody could sell beer up around the IGA. Did you know that did not hold up?
Yeah,
It did not hold up.
yeah, I know. That, what happened back in 1972, the city annexed me
Right,
and that other strip down through there to get the beer tax.
right.
Now, they annexed that and made beer legal down there, but it was not legal.
Or kept it legal down there.
No, well, yeah, they kept it. It was legal in the county, and their mouths was a watering for that tax. So they went down there and took it away from the county and got that, and really appreciated their contribution. And it's been a wonder to us. We've got such glorious treatment from the city. We've got so many wonders. It's been worth every dime, I guess.
Like the reason I mentioned it, they're selling beer right across the street from IGA now.
Yeah, I've been that way for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, I know that, yeah. They asked me what to do about it when they first moved in there. I said, I just go ahead and apply for a beer license. And I said, they can't deny you. You're not within a distance of a church or a school. And I said, just go ahead and apply for it. And that's what they did. They went in and applied for the license and started selling beer.
Yeah, that's something else you stirred up, I guess.
I guess so. And the county ought to be glad to get a little bit more tax now. And
No, county, not city.
City, well, the county gets a little portion
I
of it.
don't think they do.
I
I
don't.
don't think so. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. I
Well,
think the local,
they get to arrest them people out there in the county for driving drunk, so they make some money off of it one way or the other.
they'll get some portion of the sales tax. I don't think they get any portion of the beer tax.
Yeah, they get to arrest all them drunks, you know. I was down there in the county and pulled out from a beer joint and they followed me 5 miles.
Well, they can tell a desperado when they see one. Did you have your hat on?
Yeah, and they sat there and watched me pull out, and then the first thing he asked me is, where you been, Mr. Andrews?
TV.
Hey,
Bob looks like he just got off of a banana boat.
He did. They throwed him off.
Well, his shirt's yellow and his hat's yellow.
Well, I think he is a banana.
I'm Chiquita Banana.
Chiquita banana with a mustache. With a tash, they call them, don't they?
Yeah, got you a tie.
But
Well,
it
like a
was-
hairy banana, I always say.
You look like you're scrubbed good and clean anyway.
Well, yeah, once a year, and it's getting ready to change into the next. It's August coming up tomorrow, and we took our
Yeah.
bath a day early.
Got 5 more months, ain't we?
Yeah, if we can survive that long.
Yeah, it's hard to survive.
Right, I'll be
Stay
able to
back,
buy me some
fella.
bananas tomorrow. It's the first of the month.
Well, take care, fella.
Be good.
See ya.
Yeah, ain't nothing like a good banana, I always say.
Right. I ate a lot. I do eat a lot of bananas.
I like bananas. I always wanted to know. I mean, I finally got a tomato. These things in the store, they look so pretty. I ain't had a good tomato since last year. I mean,
You didn't get any off me this year?
yeah, but they wasn't like that at home. It's
Right.
good, but they
Right.
wasn't like that at home. They ain't nothing tastes like one that grows at home. I've got one tomato all year. And I picked 2 or 3 more and lost them. I gotta go hunt them.
Right.
But anyway, I'm wondering what it would be like. You know, the bananas we eat was picked maybe 6 months before we eat them.
Right.
They pick them green, cut the stalk and green, and then put them on a boat and haul them.
Right.
And it takes months for them to get to where you're going to eat them. And then they allow them to ripen or encourage them to ripen. But the whole point is, wonder if there's as much difference in go out and pick a fresh banana and eat it, and when you get off of a banana boat, if there's that much difference in them two things as there is in a homegrown tomato, and when you,
I'm sure that's right.
what would it be like to eat a homegrown banana?
Yeah, it sure would. Well, we've got our own homegrown Banana Republic dictator.
Well, yeah, we got that.
Yeah, that's what Obama really is. He's nothing more than a Banana Republic dictator. Of course, he doesn't have anything to do with running the government, did you know
No,
that?
he just campaigns
He's
for
just a
them.
bystander, you know. He tours around and talks about how bad Washington is. I want to go down to Chattanooga and hold up a sign that says, Obama, you are Washington.
They wouldn't let you in.
No, they probably wouldn't let me in. Probably would throw me out if I got it up in the air. You know, they would have escorted me out.
Yeah, we can't have nobody disrupting.
It'd be worse than pulling into Y-12 parking lot.
We didn't pull in the parking lot.
We never got that
No,
far.
they made us go in there so they could inspect us. We didn't even want to go. All we wanted to do is turn around.
That's what we were looking for. Well,
Now there's a file up there
Them
in
boys
Washington.
got to do something to justify their salary, you know.
There's a file up there in Washington that
Right.
got our names in it. I can't figure out why they didn't inspect Tommy. She just sat there.
Had the known terrorist in the back seat.
Yeah, didn't check her out at all.
Oh, Lord. It's a funny, funny world, you know, and everything from Anthony Weiner to the mayor of San Diego. It's just, we get what we deserve in our government. We've got what we deserve here in Campbell County with our county commissioners. We've got what we deserve here in the city with our city councilmen, and we've got what we deserve.
Well, I have to agree with you. We've got the best politicians money can buy.
Yes, isn't that right? And, you know, all they're looking for is more source of revenue. And they're not a bit more interested in doing things that help the people. They think the more money they can pull out of the private sector and redistribute by the government, the better things are gonna be, but that's not true. It's not true in any shape, form, or fashion. The money that goes to Washington, for instance, if you send $1 to Washington, uh, the bureaucrats and the government waste whatever, they might get 25 cents back.
Well, the problem is that the people who earn the money are not the ones that decide how to spend it. And anytime you've got somebody else spending your money for you, they're not gonna spend it the way they'd spend it if it was theirs. So we've got a little problem that we have built over the course of a couple of centuries, and ain't nothing we're gonna do about it. It's a lost cause. We'll have to wait till everybody files bankruptcy.
Well,
and
you
start
know,
over.
I don't think you ought to swim upstream all the time, you know. You don't necessarily have to fight the current, you know. You could decide to go downstream. But I'm beginning to believe that the established Republican Party is a bunch of gutless wonders. They will not stand up for anything. They will not stand up to anybody. Case in point is the repeal of Obamacare, with a known majority in this country that is not in favor of Obamacare. They still will not stand up for its repeal. And everybody wonders, well, you're not going to get but 45 votes in the Senate, where are you going to get the other 6? That's like, say, look, I can't hit that pitcher, I ain't even gonna get in the batter's box. And that's exactly the way that is. If you don't get in the batter's box and swing your bat, you're not gonna ever get a hit. And if you don't take a stand and try to put a stop to something, or repeal something, or modify it, or whatever you can do, and stand firm in your beliefs, then what in the world are you good for? You might as well just have a whole House of Representatives being Democrats and the whole Senate being Democrats. I mean, you know, they've got the Republicans so convinced that if they stand up for a strong immigration bill, that they're going to lose the Hispanic vote. Well, now my philosophy is that you can't lose something you ain't got, and they don't have the Spanish vote. They got about 70% of it.
They stand to lose more of their base if they do that right than they'll gain from what they bring in. But I don't know that this place wouldn't be better off if we all left and let them have it. They work.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't have anything against immigration. I really don't. But a country without borders and cannot enforce its borders, to me, is not a country. So, you know, they could put a wall up like Berlin did. They put one up there, and in 25 years, nobody ever broke into East Berlin.
They kept people from going into that there people's utopia right good, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. All that wonderful communism they had
Well,
going.
what about they ain't had no, why can't we protect the border like we were doing down in Florida? They ain't nobody, we ain't got a stampede going from Florida, repatriating to Cuba either.
No.
You'd think it
It
was
looked
free
like all of them
Medicare.
want to go back to
You'd
Florida.
think it was free Medicare and I mean, medical care and all of the wonderful things we've got going on down there in the people's country. We'd have them there, Floridians, well, why the Mexicans ain't going to Cuba?
Just 90 miles over there to get all that free stuff.
Yeah, I wonder why the Mexicans ain't going to Cuba.
Maybe we could get them to go to Cuba. You ever think about that?
They got more sense than that.
But you know, we have been duped in a number of ways on this immigration bill. What is it? Hmm?
Get over yonder,
Hmm?
right over yonder. Stop him before he goes
Where
with it.
he at?
Right there,
Huh?
right there. No, to the left. Well,
Where is he? Okay. But I see him now.
I don't want to go home with him.
Yeah, I don't want to take him home with me.
Excuse us, folks.
Yeah, we.
Now, Digger Wilson,
Bug killing.
Digger Wilson, no animals died making this show. Digger Wilson has got propane. He's got all them summer
I
flavors.
thought he had gas.
He's got gas too.
Okay, well, it was propane.
And he's still got the summer flavors in stock. In case you want that hickory flavored propane, I think Digger's got some of that, don't you?
Yeah. And even though there were 55,000 canisters of propane destroyed down in Florida,
Nobody was
there will
hurt.
not be a shortage at Digger Wilson, Baskin Wilson Gas Company.
Nobody got hurt down there.
Did anybody get hurt?
No, nobody got hurt. 5625444 right in the middle of the road in Sawmill Holler if you want to talk to Digger about his gas.
Right, yeah. And you might want to talk to him about propane while he's down there too.
Yeah. What else, Bob?
Oh, I don't know, you know, I'm enjoying the real nice, cool weather that we're having.
This global warming is outdoor making species.
Global warming,
across
I
the
tell
state.
you, I love this global warming. I tell you what's the truth. You know, I can sleep with no air on at night and just get a little thin blanket on me and just snooze right up a storm.
It's the coolest summer we've had in several years.
Right? They broke the record, I believe Sunday night, I believe it was Sunday night, they broke the record that had existed since 1884 for the coldest night on July the 28th, July 28th, yeah. And that's pretty long time, you know, it's 129 years. Huh?
100 and some years.
Yeah, 129 years is what that is, and so you know, the global warming, you can see its effect.
Yeah, I reckon you can. Of course, the thing about it is, we had a rainy season like this in 1967, and it was kind of a mild summer, and we still had some hot weather, but it was, you know, just everything mildewed and everything was wet. And I don't remember one since then been that cold. Ugg TV.
Hey,
Hello, Ronnie.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I see you got a slow night. I wasn't going to call, but I've got something I need to put out.
Well, put it out there.
Okay, about a week ago, somebody come in one of my bedrooms and stole the record collection. 45 little records, and
Yeah.
I had collected them since 1961. I've got the Jackson 5. I can name about every, there's about 200 of them. And I have got a reward. I'll give somebody $50 if they will bring them back to me. No questions asked.
Well, let me ask you, did somebody break in your house, or you
No,
think?
they just come right. I think it's a member of the family.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
I'm
some
pretty
member
sure.
some member of the family will bring your records back and get that $50.
Well, I'm watching that closely. I've got the Jackson 5, their first record they ever made. And Lord, I could just keep naming over.
You
Let me
mean you,
think
you
a
mean
minute how
you
many artists
had,
about.
you had that record.
I had some going way back was worth quite a bit.
Well,
It meant a
Do
lot
you
to
have
me.
any suspects?
Do you know Charlie Prater?
I ought to, but I can't figure out who that is.
He bought me one a long time ago. Then there's some of the records on there that my daughter had bought me because she has passed away.
Have you still got a record player that'll play them?
Yes, I do.
Well, they'll steal that next, 'cause they're hard to find.
Hey, I've got one, plays good.
I know, but they'll steal that. They won't have nothing to play their records on.
Well, it's too big to carry out. They usually get something other small.
Well, they'll be back. They gotta have a
I'm
record
gonna go put
player.
it in the garbage dump.
Don't do
I'm not
that.
gonna give it to Bob. I'm gonna give it to somebody because I don't have no use for it.
Well, hang on to it. You may get your records back.
I've got close to 200 in there.
Well, I just
I've
don't.
got some by Johnny Cash. Oh, I could just keep on telling you, but you ain't got
You ain't got a ring of fire, do you?
So were most of them
Yes, I do.
45s? Were
And
most
see
of them
Ruby
45s?
Falls?
And what?
That was See Ruby Falls. That was a
Yeah.
beautiful record.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if somebody
remember.
comes down by my place wanting to sell those things, I'm gonna buy them for you and give them back to you.
Well, there's so many people out there will take anything to get a pill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've missed tricycles, police lights, wind rings.
What we need to do is start giving them free pills, just all they want. So
The
they,
hell they'll quit stealing from us.
yeah, they can pretty soon be
See,
dead.
my late husband was a constable, and he had a big old blue light, and I had just took it out, cleaned it, and dusted it. Looked the next day or two, and it was gone. A police light.
Well, they probably been pulling people over and arresting them for that.
Oh, my. But I would like to have my record collection back. Like I said, I will pay anybody $50 for them to just bring it back to me. If they'll just bring 3 back,
If you don't know who this is, folks, if you got
I
that,
have a pretty good idea of who it was.
but I'm talking about this. If you want to collect this reward and don't know how to go about it, contact me. If you've got the records, I'll get you hooked up this $50 reward here.
Okay? Try and see what you can do.
Well,
That meant a lot to me.
yeah, I know. And the main thing is, it just burns you up. Somebody stole the radio out of my truck here one night while we was in here doing this wonderful show.
My God.
The radio, I really would have given it to him if they'd asked for it. It looked fancy.
Well, they probably got an old panel for it.
Well, it was, yeah, but it was,
Yeah, I know all about that, what's going on.
it was an aggravating radio. It wouldn't stay on the station. Although it was an expensive looking radio and a modern radio, it wouldn't stay on the station. I didn't use it. I'd have give it to him. I had somebody,
Oh, yeah.
they broke my truck out on the lake one time, stole the radiator out of it. Of course, it's good enough to break a little wing window instead of knocking the windshield out or something.
Yeah,
But,
I've had a lot of stuff stolen from me. I don't ever lock my door, which I'm not gone that long.
uh-huh.
But I just look around every time I look, there's something missing.
Well, maybe you ought to start locking your door. At least you'll know when they've been
Oh,
there.
no, I'd rather just let them have it.
Well, I'll be down and see if there's anything I want when you go in the store again.
You know who I am, don't you?
Yeah, I know who you are. If I can catch you going, I'm going to empty your house.
Right,
Very
well,
much
back
love.
the truck up.
You go in there and there ain't nothing but bare floor. You just know that the next day we'll be back after the little linoleum.
You know, that makes you feel bad when you're a victim, when you get stuff stolen
Ask her
from
rather
you
than
like
paying a reward for us to bring it back, if you just like to pay us now and keep us from stealing it.
Yeah, you'll just pay in advance and we won't bother your stuff.
Well, I hope ever who's got them enjoys them.
Well,
I'm sure it's some drug dealer.
I'd
In
say,
this county, swapping this for that, this and that. Sabason, Opana, Roxy. That's where our stuff is going.
well, you know,
Well, if
I
we
had
hear,
2 gold wedding bands
if
missing.
I hear anything about them, I sure will let you know.
I know where one of the wedding back home.
Well, if they know who got it, I believe I'd be, well, they won't do nothing to them though, ain't no use fooling with it.
Oh yeah, by the way, something else. There was somebody stole a brand new water heater from somebody I know.
You ain't got any brand new water heaters turned up, do you?
No
I guess
new
they come
ones,
from the
no.
Williamsburg or.
No new ones. I got a couple used ones that I bought. You welcome to look at them to see if they belong to anybody.
Well, this one come from Lowe's.
Do what?
Come
Would
from
they
Lowe's.
be stupid enough to sell them locally?
Well, yeah.
Well, well, it's been good talking to you.
Well, take care of yourself. If I hear anything about your record collection, I'll let you
We'll
know.
let you know, huh?
Be sure now, how you gonna let me know? You got my phone number?
I'll catch you. Don't worry.
Okay.
See ya.
I would like to have it back.
You got it. If we hear anything, I'll
And
get
if
you.
they enjoy them records that much and don't have anything to play it on, I'll give them the one I've got in there to play it with.
Yeah, we'd hate to see them go. That's where I was when they stole that radio out of my old truck out the lake. They left the instruction manual, and I offered to give it to them. Nobody ever come picked it up.
Oh well.
See you,
Good night, honey.
ma'am. Bye. Except for other Camrys still working. Ain't nothing seems to work around here tonight.
Well, we got difficulties again.
Well, it's still working.
All right, good. They're still working, folks. So all you folks over there in Afghanistan and Italy,
Czechoslovakia, that's no longer there.
right, and over there in Bordeaux, France. Bonjour, Monsieur Lelon. That's my buddy Eve, and he watches sometimes.
You got a buddy named Eve, and it's a man?
Eve,
What?
It's Eve Lulon, Laulon.
Luan. That's a floor cover name.
Lulon. No, that's he's a Frenchman. He's a professor at the University of Bordeaux.
Does he speak French?
Well, I told him that all the cuss words in English he needed to know.
If you get to feeling poorly and really need some serious medical attention and need something to ride, you might want to call Vital Care. Vital Care of Campbell County has got their own ambulance service independent of the taxpayer and public.
And they got the only iron lung, or whatever you call that thing, mobile iron lung.
what do they call them? It ain't an incubator, what is it?
I don't know. No, the government's got the incubator.
Yeah, but anyway, 562-9370 if you need to ride the ambulance, or you can call 911 and request Vital Care.
And yeah, I have to call them tomorrow and ask them what they call that thing. You know.
I can't ever remember. You usually can think of it, and I'm just not up to snuff.
But if somebody needs to be transported from one place to the other, and they need to keep their lungs are working and everything, Vital Care's got the only mobile unit in Campbell County. Ventilator, yeah.
Yeah,
Ventilator, yeah.
You get ventilated.
Yeah, okay, and is that anything like being incubated?
Well, I know it had an OR on the end of it. Or ER, OR.
Right. You know,
Need any windows or doors or vinyl siding or linoleum or lumber or roofing?
right, yeah,
Metal or shingles.
but you got 4 less boards than you thought you had.
And I had some boards and somebody stole them.
Yeah, I just went down there and lifted me about 4 boards Sunday. I
I've
couldn't
got
find.
some awful good 16-foot 2x4s.
I didn't get none of them 16-footers.
No, we got them under lock and key.
But I did have all them old long 1-4s you had out there.
You wouldn't
One
want,
by five or one by six.
you wouldn't want a coon, would you?
Huh?
Wouldn't want a coon, would you?
Well, what you do, now let me tell you what you do rather than poisoning coons and everything. You get you one of these live traps.
I got one.
Okay? You trap him.
Yeah, no, that ain't, we got hung up right there.
Oh,
He goes in the trap, holds the door open, and gets a grub and leaves.
well, what
He
you
opens the
do,
refrigerator, and if there ain't no food in it, he leaves it open, and if there is, he gets it out and closes it and eats it. So help me.
but what you do, you catch him in one of those live traps.
If I could catch him one of them live traps, I'd eat him.
But you put a chain to it, you know, you don't want to hurt him, and you take him out to the Goat Rock Bridge and drop him over the side, and about 10 minutes later you pull him up and see if he learned how to swim in that thing.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I carried two out to Goat Rock Bridge and turned them loose.
I've turned possums loose. I've been giving the coons to somebody else, but this one here has been in there 2 nights in a row and got the food out of the trap and didn't throw the trap. I mean, and didn't get caught. Only thing we can figure is he's so big, he just eats and then goes on.
I don't know now. The only way I've ever been successful in catching them is to bait that trap and then put something over the back of the trap, a tarp, where he can't see what's in there or anything, and he's got to go in that way. See, he's probably reaching through and getting a little bit on the side out.
No, what it is, Richard has been leaving one end closed and one open.
Right.
Well, he goes in there, and when that trap throws and hits him, he sees he can't go forward, so he jumps backwards.
Right.
What he has to do is, if he ain't already trained him how to get out, is to have both ends open.
Right.
If he goes in there and that thing hits him in the back, he'll run forward and can't get out either.
Right.
In which case, I'll have a coon tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've never had any luck catching them at all unless I covered most of the trap up with a tarp. Or the door he went in was the only thing that he could see in.
Well, that won't work on this one. He's too smart for that. He's gonna have to go forward. He's been going backwards.
Right.
If he don't go forwards, he ain't gonna get caught.
Right.
I reckon I may just go with him the next time. He's got enough bologna stored up. Richard buys bologna. He buys them big rolls of them and gets it sliced up.
I
That
wonder
fella,
how come Richard was losing weight.
well, he eat on 5 pounds of bologna there 2 nights ago. Got it out of the refrigerator and just went right down the stack eating on it. Eat some of every piece.
Oh,
Just spitting them there springs
I
out of
bet
his
they
mouth.
had to put a strap on my refrigerator. 'Cause you could put stuff up against it, and if he could get his nose in there and start wedging it, he'd push a 5-gallon can of whatever it was full back away from that door and reach in there.
It must be the same coon.
It may have been.
If you put a rope around it, he'll eat the rope. We're going to have to chain it.
I put a strap up high enough he couldn't eat it, and he couldn't even get to it to eat it.
Well, this is just that little box refrigerator I bought off of you.
Oh, one of them small
Yeah,
ones.
he'll
Okay.
push it off the floor if he has to.
Well, what you have to do is hang it from the ceiling with a chain.
He
like
climbed
like
down.
you do when you're out camping to keep the varmints from getting your food.
I don't know what to do with him. I'm afraid Richard done trained him how to get out. He never will be able to catch him.
They are smart. Now, when I was
He's
teaching,
got a foot that big.
has he?
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a piece of tin over there laying there with some dust on it. He's walked on it. He looks like maybe a bear instead of a coon.
Could be.
I bet it is a bear.
Yeah, probably. What was it? Had a bear over in Knoxville running around. You see that?
Yeah.
But I saw one sitting up here beside the highway up there right before you get past, right after you get past Fat Barry.
Uh-huh.
And we stopped going to throw him an apple out, and he took out, and I heard Mama crashing over there. She was over in the bushes behind.
Y'all got out and
No, I'm not interested in getting out. I was going to throw him I did throw him an apple, but they took off. I don't know whether they ever got that apple or not. He was cute. He was, I guess that was That was in the spring of the year, and it was last year's cub, you know.
This spring or last spring?
It was last spring, and it was the year before that's cubs, you know, he wasn't, oh, he's about that long.
Well, we need a good starting of them.
Huh?
We need a good starting of them.
Yeah. I love bear meat, I'd like to.
I left home and saw 3 deer and 2 rabbits before I got around the curve. I said, I saw 3 deer and 4 rabbits before I got around the curve.
Did you?
Yeah. Now 3 deer and 2 rabbits.
Right.
So it looks like we're gonna have something to eat this winter.
Well, you know, I've been seeing a lot more rabbits lately than I used
They're
to.
thick.
Yeah.
I've seen more rabbits this year than I've seen in a long
Yeah.
time. And they ain't as many squirrels as been a being.
It's not.
No, they usually,
Well,
of course
you
it
know,
ain't
we
hardly
talked-
time.
We talked about squirrel migration.
I know, I don't know why that ain't happened yet.
Right.
It's
You talk-
overdue.
You talk about immigration or migration.
Well, they may have went to Mexico and we missed the trip because everybody's going the other way.
One of the reasons, you know, back when we used to cut wood years ago, we always stacked our brush. And rabbits, I made a good rabbit den for them. They'd get up in there and the foxes and everything couldn't get through those limbs and everything.
Br'er rabbit, huh?
Burr rabbit could get in there. And
In the briar patch.
we always stacked our brush, and when we go rabbit hunting one time, I had a dog, so help me, he would get up on top of them brush piles and jump up and down to run the rabbit. He would do that. And when you come to a hedgerow, he would jump and stomp on that hedgerow to run the rabbits out. And
What kind of a dog was he?
Huh?
What kind of a dog was he?
I used to be a counselor down there at church camp in the summertime, and this flea-bitten, starved to death dog came up there at the camp, and the only thing we had that night, we were serving soup, and I gave him a bunch of soup with some cornbread in it, and we called him Soupy, and he had ears like a fish, but the rest of his body was like a hound dog. And he was the best jump dog. In fact, my uncle trained him, my uncle was an alcoholic, and he trained him to jump on brush piles and everything. He was excellent with dogs. But every time he'd get drunk and want something to drink, he'd sell my dog. and I'd have to go back and buy a Soupy back, you know. And finally he sold him to somebody, and he was so drunk he couldn't remember who he sold him to. But that dog's fame was known far and wide there, what he would do. He was so fast he could catch a rabbit on the run. He'd bring it back to you. He'd run round and round the circle cutting up, and for his grand finale, he'd climb a tree up about shoulder high. And he was really a fine dog, but my Uncle George sold him to somebody, couldn't remember who he sold him to.
I had an uncle one time who used to trade mules. He had a mule named Mary Ann. And Mary Ann, he traded Mary Ann somebody, and it wasn't long till he got Mary Ann back. He traded Mary Ann back and forth for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. Finally, he traded Mary Ann to this guy, and he kept her, and it broke his heart. He grieved himself sick over that mule. Couldn't get her back. Mary Ann left the country.
I came through Clayton, Georgia over here, and there's a place over there called a J. Something Hambidge Workshop and Art Studios. This is a place where they actually hand wove the material that was used in Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1952. And it was an old run-down rickety house and everything, but the native people come there and they'd spin that yarn on the spinning wheels, and they made all kind of intricate patterns. Well,
The
they had
what
no
people?
huh?
The what people?
Native people, you know, people who lived around there.
Okay.
You know, I don't mean they were.
Okay.
They were just community people.
They wasn't the ones that's here when the boat come, they the ones that live there now, okay.
Well, they had an old barn over there that looked like it was about to fall down, And every time you go by there, this mule would be on the sunny side of that barn. And my kids want to know about that mule, and I said, well, the mule's holding that barn up. Okay. Well, we come back by there about a year or two later, and the barn had fallen down.
Yeah.
And I stopped, I knew Miss Hambidge before she died, and I stopped and asked what happened. The mule said, well, the mule died, and said, that's sure that mule died, the barn fell down.
Well, that explained that mystery, didn't it? Folks, I think we're about done. I know you're glad. We'll see you Tuesday on the internet or next Wednesday right here at the same time as usual. Thank you. Remember our sponsors
Right.
fondly.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
The old Jay Hambidge was a ambassador to some country.
Some country.
Huh?
Well, that's good.
He was an ambassador, and he wrote a book. And
I've heard of him.
I've got an